Elon Musk. Let's face it, if you don't love him, you totally wanna be him. Here's a guy making our sci-fi fantasies a reality. From electric cars to rockets to flamethrowers. His company SpaceX just changed the future of space travel, launching the most innovative rocket in history, with 2 engines sticking the landing at the same time. Amazing.
I'm Chuck Zukowski. I'm a paranormal UFO investigator here in Colorado, and I investigate paranormal activities across the 37th parallel.
So you're kind of like Ghostbusters, but for aliens.
I am Ghostbusters for aliens. If a local rancher hears about a possible mutilation, they contact me. A lot of cattle mutilations have occurred where UFO sightings have been seen.
Right now, a solar storm is hurtling itself over 92 million miles across space towards our planet, and it's likely to make contact with Earth sometime today. The storm was caused by an enormous solar flare, which is a massive explosion of plasma and magnetic fields on the sun's surface. So are we all doomed? Solar storms can cause fluctuations in our power grid and cause damage to satellites orbiting Earth.
New reports reveal alleged South Florida shooter Nikolas Cruz was actually on the FBI's radar, and students even joked the troubled teen would, quote, shoot up the school one day. Following the horrific slaying of at least 17 people on Valentine's Day, BuzzFeed News has learned 19-year-old Cruz perked the ears of the FBI last fall.
There's a mysterious atmospheric aerosol particle floating above Alaska that contains uranium, the same kind of uranium that's used for nuclear bombs. The study published in the Journal of Environmental Radioactivity says millions of enriched uranium particles are floating over Alaska's Aleutian Islands. What researchers don't know is where the particles came from, saying that they most likely came from reactor-grade uranium, but not from disasters like Chernobyl or Fukushima. If you're ready to be your own boss, you're not alone. Research from Vistaprint shows that of 1,000 American non-business owners, 62% said they would like to own their own business. Vistaprint CEO Trinka Shinneman said, small businesses form the backbone of the economy, strengthen local communities, and provide significant value to their customers. And 37% of those polled actually have real genuine aspirations of becoming their own boss.
Elon was enrolled at Stanford in 1995 to get his PhD in applied physics when he left after 2 days to explore this thing called the internet. He made his fortune creating the online payment company PayPal and selling it to eBay. Today, Elon has Hyperloop, Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, OpenAI, Neuralink, and Solar City.
Either the ranchers or someone nearby would see lights in the sky.
And how many years have you been looking into the paranormal?
Going on 30 years now. It really took over my life. It's so much so that I contract. I'm a consultant. It gives me the opportunity, if I get a phone call, I can just go.
And what do you say to people who are watching this and say, this guy's nuts to be spending so much time and money searching for UFOs?
And according to NASA, these types of events are more problematic now than in the past due to our increased reliance on technology. But we'll probably survive this one. However, a recently published NASA study suggests that solar storms can affect the natural compasses of marine mammals, and may even be responsible for an increased number of beached animals. But it's not all negative. These storms are also known to amplify the northern and southern lights.
He wants to slow global warming through solar power and electric vehicles and colonize Mars with SpaceX. His net worth is estimated at about $20.9 billion, and he continues to spend it seemingly with the goal of ensuring humanity's survival. No big deal. So where did it all come from?
With me, it becomes part of your life. So I don't get funded for this at all.
How much would you estimate you've spent over your lifetime?
I'm afraid to say, because if my wife sees it, she's going to kill me. But thousands, obviously.
And have you ever seen alien life?
I have not seen alien life, but I've seen balls of light. I've actually seen a craft in the sky. Something was out there that was communicating. Something was coming down.
After commenting on a YouTube video, I'm going to be a professional school shooter. The video's author immediately alerted the FBI, and the Bureau's Mississippi field office replied back with questions. News outlets discovering a trail of disturbing social media posts of Cruz posing with weapons.
So you are afraid of aliens to a certain extent?
Me? Oh, hell yeah. And always a place for a gun, because anytime I go anywhere and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I always take either a 40 cal or a 9mm with me.
You were fired after serving as a volunteer sheriff's deputy because you were attributing what you were seeing to extraterrestrials instead of criminals.
One classmate telling local WJXT News all kids joked around like that, saying he was going to be the one to shoot up the school. Cruz was reportedly expelled from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School for disciplinary reasons. According to the Sun Sentinel, he had since been working at a dollar store, was getting an adult education, and legally purchased the AR-15 weapon used in the attack, but had been forced to keep it in a gun safe.
Their best guess is that they came from China, a border along North Korea, or Japan. However, its origin is shrouded in mystery. But don't panic. Live Science reports that although the particles are strange, they're not dangerous on their own.
Well, Musk was an avid reader at a young age. He said reading Isaac Asimov's Foundation was a major aha moment. Makes sense when you consider this passage. Humankind evolved over millions of years, but in the last 60 years, atomic weaponry created the potential to extinguish ourselves. Sooner or later, we must expand life beyond this green and blue ball, or go extinct.
If it's not a human, it's something else. I contradicted him. I got terminated over that.
The controversy made headlines.
The sheriff's office says he publicly contradicted their official report on a horse mutilation case last summer.
Despite losing his badge in 2011, Zukowski continued to investigate unusual incidents on his own, building up case files and posting videos to his website.
This is the foundation for everything Elon. Think about it. Mars has no oxygen to burn fuel, so you have to go electric. Tesla. Martian weather can be a little rough. Just ask Matt Damon.
Hey! We might be able to keep the map from tipping! Watch out!
Tunnels can solve that. The Boring Company. And how do we get there? SpaceX. Suddenly, launching a cherry red roadster into space starts to make sense.
ABC News reporting Cruz and his younger brother were adopted as infants by Roger and Linda Cruz. Roger died from a heart attack years ago, but his adopted mother had just died from the flu in November. A relative telling the Washington Post, "I don't think the massacre had anything to do with his upbringing. It could have been the loss of his mom."
But no one said this is going to be easy. After all, it is rocket science. But Musk has a plan. He wants to get 80,000 people to live on Mars by 2040. And now he's got his foot on the gas. 5 million pounds of thrust to be exact. His Falcon Heavy reusable rocket has forever changed how we will travel to space.
In 2016, best-selling author Ben Mesrich wrote a book about Zukowski's UFO theory called The 37th Parallel.
We have a paranormal highway going across the United States. From my research and investigations, the 37th parallel appears to be the main corridor, the main highway of UFOs traveling across the U.S. That's like a toll road that these things travel east to west.
In the book, Zukowski recalls sending pieces of evidence to Bigelow Aerospace in Nevada. Just last month, it became public that the U.S. government was helping to fund Bigelow's UFO research.
The military is spending millions of dollars to look into UFO sightings and videos from American fighter pilots.
What was your initial reaction to that?
I knew that already. The Pentagon has this project going on.
A neighbor telling CBS News his adoptive mother had been bringing him to therapy, but that all ended once she died. Florida's Attorney General has announced the state will pay the funeral expenses of the victims.
say it ended around 2012 or so. I don't believe that. I think it's still going on. To me, it was like, wow, affirmation. It was cool. There's a lot going on flying across the United States. Let's see what it is.
For those who haven't made the leap yet, and those who have, being in charge of their own destiny was the most appealing aspect of owning a business. And of 500 small business owners polled, 12% said it was much harder than they expected. However, 62% of these entrepreneurs said that it was more satisfying being their own boss than they expected. And business owners are expecting big things in 2018, with 2/3 saying it will be a better year than 2017.